My name's Aidan. Going to talk about my testimony. Actually, I was brought up a Christian, and I was raised in a household with the belief of God. But eventually, my dad sort of turned away from the idea and grew to dislike it, and actually ended up splitting with my mum. They both went their separate ways. That was difficult. I then sort of drove me into a state of severe depression. I then had my friends lying about me and blocking out my support group, so I was just sort of trapped and on my own and left in this state of confusion and pain. And eventually I got back into my friendship group, but they weren't the same people they were to begin with. In fact, they were all drug affiliated and some even gang affiliated, and ended up taking me to places like raves and trying to satisfy myself with drugs, sex and money. And actually I came to a sort of realization that none of these actually satisfied me fully. So I was stuck in a cycle of doing them again and again because I was getting this very small amount of satisfaction from it. And it became the norm to me, it became a daily thing. Eventually I went to a place called Soul Survivor, which is a Christian festival. I ended up getting, someone came over to me. I ended up getting prayer for. They spoke to me saying, I feel like God's been talking to me about this, and about you. And every single thing they said about my life was exactly on point, like word for word, about my parents, about myself, my siblings, was all exact. And I've never met this person before in my life. So I thought, okay, something has to be going on here. Maybe there is a God. And they began to pray for me. And I remember straight after the prayer suddenly feeling this overwhelming happiness that I hadn't felt for over a year. I hadn't even really smiled properly for over a year, and I felt free. I was no longer trapped inside this bubble. I'd actually taken a step back, and my vision stopped being this narrow-mindedness and actually was more open. And all of a sudden I felt like I could see things for the way they really are, and I really felt like I'd come to the truth and reality of things. And since then I've been living for God, and I've been happy.